Hey everybody, Onepeg here. Hurting the tips of my elbows after a long day of streaming. Good times. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of new stuff in the hideout, and figured we'd go over that and some other changes that have now occurred, thanks to another update from the devs. First up, we have a 6SH118 raid backpack, which is now capable of being made on the lavatory for 4 army bags, a paracord, 2 ripstop cloth, and a multi-tool. 2 hours and 10 minutes later, and you got yourself a nice bag. Prepped and ready to be lost on the next reserve run. Next, same thing, Lavatory 3, we now have a Black Rock Craft, which is 1 Tarzan rig, 1 ripstop, and 1 Cordura. Also on the Lavatory, 1 Untar vest and a pair of metal scissors yields 2 alu splints. And that only takes about 50 minutes to an hour, depending on what your crafting skill is like. Not bad, not bad. Also added to the lavatory, 4 of the green air filters, 1 set of big metal scissors, and 1 thing of paper will yield a water filter. Takes 9.5 hours, but hey, that ain't bad. Now onto the 9mm crafting station, workbench. Workbench. Instead of crafting 9mm, like you'd ever want to not do that, we now have the option of crafting SPP ammo for 150 SP13 rounds, 1 blue gunpowder, and 1 multi-tool. You can also create 2 Nixer lenses from 1 security camera and a plexiglass. And in one of the ultimate displays of absolute troll superiority, Nikita has added the craft for 7 star rounds for the KS-23, which is 1 green gunpowder, 5 camping lighters, 1 blue gunpowder, and 1 flashbang. Making KS-23 factory boys great again, huh, Nikita? Awesome. I can't believe I'm about to try and cop this Russian accent. I'm gonna... Oh, Jesus. I can't believe I'm gonna try this bit, but here we go. Comrade, you want the AKM? Easy. All you need. Vepr 136. Use multi-tool, add muzzle brake. Fully automatic. Easy. No problem. Yeah, so they added an AKM craft where literally all you do is burn a multi-tool and add a muzzle brake to Vepr 136. And it gives you an AKM now. Because that's how it works in the real world. In the nutrition unit, I believe this is level 3. It's 2 water bottles, 2 vodka, 1 Alankia chocolate, and 1 of the 40-second tea, or Sacriel's streamer item, will yield 3 whiskey. And the likely most obvious one that everyone is kind of losing their collective minds over as an in-game craft now is the LEDX. So it's 2 ophthalmoscopes, 3 magnets, 3 RFID readers, 3 power banks, and 2 defibrillators make 1 LEDX. Now this craft takes a little over 37 hours to produce, so it's something that you've, I guess, really got to commit to. But hey, I mean, for those of us that have been running Shoreline like a million times and still haven't gotten a single LEDX except for the times where you watch your friends get it instead, you know, it's pretty good for us. Also on the Medstation, for 2 hydrogen peroxide and 2 piles of meds, that will yield you 1 hemostat after 28 minutes. Another worthwhile craft for time spent in a raid, you know, during your run. There were also some Ergo changes given to attachments for sniper rifles and such across the board. The T5000, the SV98, the R700, and the Mosin all saw ergonomics buffs to just about all of the stocks and handguards, and even like the ModX stuff for the R700 got buffed by a whole bunch of Ergo. Like there's handfuls of Ergo kind of across the board. So you should see a lot longer, well, probably not a lot longer, but some longer ADS times, especially when prone. And you should see some faster raising of the gun wherever it is that you are. In the case of the R700, the ModX stuff especially is extremely ergonomically friendly. And before this buff, you could get like a 50 Ergo build out of the ModX gear. So in this case, you should see over 60 with the buffs to the ModX parts. The only thing that looked a little bit curious was the DVL stuff, because there was some buffs to the low bev stuff for the DVL that almost doesn't make sense, because the mag for the DVL was given an ergonomics penalty, and it's like the only mag that you can currently put in the DVL. So rather than buffing the components to the DVL, why not just remove the ergonomics penalty to the mag? I don't I don't understand that one. But hey, I mean, I'm not the game dev, so, I'm just kind of looking at what I see. The biggest ergo bump to any of the weapon systems was actually given to the SV98, who, rather than what used to be a 39 base level of ergonomics, is now 49. And once you start getting up to around 50, the ADS speed, the raising of it, is a really nice break in the threshold for getting the weapon up a little bit faster. So that 10 ergo bump to the SV98's like base weapon chassis is pretty nice. So there's the informational part of the video. And I kind of wanted to respond to a couple of things that I've seen as of, I guess, yesterday. So if all you were here for was the updated information, you don't really give a shit about anything that I have to say, then please, by all means, move on and I'll see you in the next one. No big deal. But I wanted to respond to a couple of comments that I saw both on Twitter and in the comments section on like the last video. And I'm not going to call out anybody or any of that. It's kind of just like a general sentiment. And it kind of circulated around me saying like, hey, the devs are human, Some of the responses that I got from people were, well, this is a product that I've paid for. You have to remember that I've bought this. I paid my money. I bought EOD. I bought a standard account. I bought, whatever. Prepare for escape. It doesn't matter. So let's say that you bought the game at $150 or less. In my mind, going after anyone over something as stupid as money. And I don't mean like a 65-year-old's retirement fund that got, churned by a shitty financial planner or something like that. Like I'm not talking about a dude on Wall Street that tried to steal people's cash or like some Ponzi scheme or something and people deserve to go to prison. That's not what I'm talking about. What I mean is, in the case of something that is more consumer-driven, you bought a product and the product wasn't what you thought, and you're dissatisfied with it. There is nothing wrong with expressing your dissatisfaction for a product at all. There isn't. But when you take it a step further and you start talking about how, especially in the video game world, how the game devs are pieces of shit, how the game devs should never have been born, and I've seen way worse. I've seen people demand that game devs kill themselves. Like, just crazy stuff, man. I don't know about you, but if anybody came to my place of work and told me that I needed to work harder because they thought that I wasn't delivering on a promise that I made to them, or I should just go commit suicide, I can tell you that's not going to make me work any harder. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of a time where somebody like really went hard on the personal attacks and I thought to myself, yeah, that really motivates me to want to get out there and make a difference. Like that doesn't do a damn thing. If anything, it would make me want to stay the fuck in bed. Because who the hell wants to serve a bunch of man children? Nobody. Y'all act like you're collectively the foreman on a construction site and you've got like a bunch of like lazy underlings that you're all like trying to scream at and tell them that they're pieces of shit until they actually pull the trigger. Like, it's crazy the amount of negativity that floats around whenever people start openly discussing how there's something wrong with the game. And they try to veil it by saying, well, we love Tarkov and that's why we're so passionate about it and all this other stuff. Bullshit, dude. I don't buy it, man. I feel like in a lot of cases, people are trying to justify their own negativity by acting like shitty people because they parted with some cash, because they've been the target of a shit ton of scrutiny. And not in the sense that like they've stolen money from anybody, right? You have to remember, you didn't part with like a Ferrari worth of cash, right? This isn't a house. This is $150. And while I want to say that I realize that $150, hell, even $20. I can remember when $20 was a shit ton of money to me because I needed it to get back and forth to college and I barely made anything, I can remember being broke as fuck. But at the same time, I can also remember not buying video games because I needed that same money to be able to get back and forth to college. If that amount of money is that important to you, to where you feel like you've been had and it's like so angering that you have to go after people, perhaps you should not have spent that on this consumer product in the first place. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with wanting QC, and there's nothing wrong with wanting something that performs well. And I'm going to spare you the whole like, oh, it's a beta thing, because I think that that's like, everybody knows this already, and yeah, it's taken a long time, right? I get all of that. But to be completely honest, in my world, if you've gotten more than an hour per dollar spent on a game that you've been playing, then it fulfilled its obligation. So if you guys bought EOD and you got, 130 to 150 hours of time into the game, then quite frankly, it's delivered. Whether you enjoy it at this point or not, you stayed in it and played it. Steam wouldn't refund your cash. Epic wouldn't refund your cash. Ain't nobody giving you your money back. That was the risk you took. You know what I'm saying? And you got the time out of it. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe I'm way off. Maybe I'm way off. I just don't feel like it needs to resort to personal attacks to anyone if they haven't done anything to you. And quite frankly, the devs haven't done anything to you other than provide you with an opportunity to play a game ahead of when it's supposed to be released or whatever. All right, I'm going to fuck off now. Sorry, guys. Just needed to get that off my chest. I just feel like people shouldn't be disrespected over something as petty as money. You can't take it with you. It's bourgeois as fuck, man. You can't take it with you, you know? Anyway, guys, that's what I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out during the streams. It's been awesome. And I love seeing all you guys, and the new faces that have been coming by have been really great. The channel is doing ridiculously well. We're over 550,000 views since the 1st of January, which is absolutely bonkers for a channel my size. So thank you guys for lending me your eyeballs as always, and I will see you in the next video, okay? Peace.